Meow, meow. This is Charlie, and it's time for Coach Rob's Canucks thoughts. Meow. Well, Charlie, thanks so much for the nice intro. And thanks, Shannon and Charlie, for this lovely new glass that I can drink my apple juice from. So we're here to talk about the game that was played on February 18, 2023. And I knew a couple people that went actually over for the game. One's a huge Flyers fans I went to high school with, and another one I knew in the early 80s when we played street hockey together. Anyway, it was quite the game, and it was a debut for Christian Whelan playing on the Canucks. Of course, he's played in the NHL before, but tonight it was his first game as a Canuck, and he wore number 86, and he had one shot on goal, one block shot. He had 15 minutes and 51 seconds of ice time, and he was acquired on free agency on July 15th, and it was and he was born in March 17th, 1995 in Quebec, Canada, and he is 6'2", 189 pounds, and he shoots left, so good for him. But the big story tonight, Arthur Silvas, he got his first NHL win tonight in the second game of the season. Remember, in the previous game we lost 6-4, but Rick Tocchet decided to give him a second chance in a row, which was great. It was a big night for the Canucks. It was a six. They won 6-2 tonight against the Philadelphia Flyers in Vancouver, and it was a huge night for Elias Pettersson, EP40. Right, the scoring started off early in the first period. Well, not too early. It was actually 14-24 the first period. Anthony Bolivier scoring his 12th of the season. That was assisted by Luke Schenn and Pettersson. Then Scott Layton tied the game at 15:56. So it was a short-lived lead. Then Andreas Kuzmenko scored for the Canucks in the second period. This goal was at 1:53, and he got help from Elias Pettersson. That's Kuzmenko's 24th goal of the season. He's also in his first season with the Canucks. And Anthony Bolivier got his 13th of the season, and he had help from Luke Hughes. I almost said Jack Hughes, but it is Luke Hughes. Then Morgan Frost got his 11th of the season from Konecny and Richardson at 17:29 of the second period. Then in the third period, it was all Canucks. It was the pizza guy, Philip Giuseppe, getting his second of the season. That was a 10:04 of the third period. Then Elias Pettersson scored a shorthanded goal at 18:03 of the third period. I believe that was an empty net goal because we did have a penalty, right? Then about a minute and 6 seconds after that, well, at 19 of the third period, Elias Pettersson scored his second shorthanded goal of the game. And according to the broadcast crew, they were saying he's only the 8th player in the history of the Canucks to get 2 shorthanded goals in the same game. So quite a night. 5 points nights for Elias Pettersson, and the shots on goal were 37-23 for the Philadelphia Flyers. I didn't realize that watching the game at Shannon and Charlie's, but that's what it says here on NHL.com. And the face-off percentage were doing pretty good. We did 60-40. It's always key to win the face-offs in any game. That's good apple juice. It's always good to drink juice. The power play, Philadelphia went 1 for 2, where Vancouver went 1 for 2 as well. Only 4 minutes of penalties per side. And Philadelphia had 24 hits, Vancouver 31. Blocked shots were doing good in that department, 24-10. Remember, the Flyers head coach is John Tortorella, who coached in Vancouver a few years ago, and he actually emphasized the blocked shots. So I'm a bit surprised here that it was that far out. Anything else we should tell you here? And Konechny had 22 minutes 19 seconds of ice time for the Philadelphia Flyers, and that's looked like he led the team well. Yeah, that looks like he had the most. No, T. Delangio had 21:51. Now the Vancouver Canucks, I've already looked this up before. It was the leading minutes. Well, JT Miller had 19:24 of ice time. Elise Peterson had 20 minutes and 28 seconds, which is that's good. And it was Quinn Hughes. He led the team with ice time tonight for the Canucks, 20 minutes and 24 seconds. So they did. He's seeing lots of ice time. Of course, we said John Torello is the head coach of the Philadelphia Flyers, and Rick Tocchet. He's been about 8 or 9 games with the Canucks now. Of course, he was a superstar with the back in the day with the Philadelphia Flyers. I will just bring up the 3 stars here. Actually, normally I don't talk about the penalty summary, but there were so few penalties. There was no penalties in the first period. It was 13:31 of the second period. Travis Konechny got a tripping penalty against Quinn Hughes. Right, then Vancouver got a penalty at 17:16. Luke Schenn roughing against Kevin Hayes. Okay, then at 17:56 of the second period, Philadelphia got a penalty. Ivan Propov tripped Dakota Joshua. Now we go to the third period. It was the pizza guy, Philip DeGiuseppe, high sticking against Travis Konechny. But in the end, it worked out okay because Philadelphia pulled the goalie. And we remember Pedersen, EP40, got 2 empty net goals. And did we go the shots on goal? Well, it was in the shots on goal in the first period, it was 11 for Vancouver, 10 for the Philadelphia Flyers. Then in the second period, they turned the table on us. It was 12-4. And in the third period, it was 15-8 shots on goal for the Philadelphia Flyers. And for a game total, like we said earlier, 37-23. Carter Hart, of course, the netminder for the Philadelphia Flyers. And when he played for the Everett Silvertips a few years ago, and me and my friend Shannon, we got to meet him after the game, as there some of the regular season's tickets holders were there in the arena in Victoria. And some of us were nervous to go up and ask if we could meet Carter Hart. So like I said, I'll do it. I don't mind. So I went up to one of the players and said, "Hey, is it all possible we can meet Carter Hart? We just want to get a couple of pictures with him." And so, yeah, sure, man, no problem. Then we hear, "Hey, Hartsy, there's some Victoria fans that want to see you." So he came out and it was all great, and we wished him good luck the rest of the year in the playoffs, and we'll see you in the NHL someday. So the third stars of the game, maybe not a surprise here. Well, maybe a bit of a surprise. I thought the Vancouver goalie would have been at least the third star. But anyway, according to NHL.com, Luke Schenn was the third star of the game for the Vancouver Canucks. Anthony Bolivier got the second star, and no surprise here, Elias Pettersson, or Elise Peterson, got the first star of the game. So was there anything else we want to talk about? No, I think we did a pretty good job of this wrap up. We're probably not going to do every game. We'll try to do as many as I can. And I did another live stream last night where a few people came by and watched me play the golf. So I'm not sure how often I'll do those. I don't want to compete with any of the other YouTube streamers. So I just might go on randomly. So if you can come by, great. If you can't make it, that's no problem at all. You can watch the replay, or you can watch these videos here. So we already talked about, yeah, I think we're going to do a wrap up for tonight. So please like and subscribe and take a look at my other playlists. And thank you so much. I really appreciate all your comments and you watching these videos. Thank you.